Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week. Kevin, we are off to go visit some pirates.
Oh, yeah. You didn't think that you'd be on a, death race in space as a reality show and not meet some pirates, right?
I mean,
Sure,
that's what I was expecting.
As it took us
In
this long.
retrospect, we were really fools for that.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. So last time,
Critical Hit.
you guys had managed to secure a base where your ship could be repaired and some help from some android mechanics from the Android Abolitionist Front on Chainbreaker 1, a secret asteroid base in the diaspora. And these androids, specifically based off the representation made to you by Zoe, are offering to help with your repairs, covering roughly half the costs. In exchange, you have agreed to spy on Eon Souljet, the CEO and arch director of Abadar Credit Systems, Credit Sys. And so you guys had some discussions about that, and then determined that you need to cover the other half of the costs and went out looking for pirates, which your dwarven friends have informed you are likely to offer you a deal, but, it's because you're desperate.
Also because we're drifters.
That's true. Desperate drifters. So you guys are on a small shuttle. It is definitely not, it doesn't have a drift drive or anything like that. It's just meant for traversing the diaspora. And the navigation system was scrubbed. You're just given the coordinates of where to meet to be picked back up. But apart from that, you are set free to go where you wish, and you have local comms, so you could, again, contact Brenson, Sirius, and Duthane, the trio of dwarves. I wonder what a dwarven attorney would be like. They're pretty lawful, orderly people in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brenson, Sirius, and Duthane are at your call if you need assistance. And I think they had said that if you wanted, they could put the word out because there were some ex-drifters types in the Free Captains, which is the name of the pirates that go around the diaspora.
Yeah, we'll send them a message and see if they can see what they can do. Either, obviously arranging a meeting would be great, but if all they can do is just put the word out, then we'll tell them where we're floating around in and see if they can send somebody out.
Yeah. Oh, also, does anyone want to give me a quick culture check on Free Captains?
We can do that.
Mr. Cotter! Oh!
Yeah.
I got a 12 again.
Well, I can do better than that. I know that much.
That one.
What? My modifier is plus 12.
Oh, I still rolled better than you, even though my modifier is plus 2. So I got a 19.
I also rolled for crap, Rob. Don't feel bad.
Yeah.
All right. Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Script just knows it all.
What we don't know, what we don't realize is that when Skritic goes crawling around up in the ducts, he actually has a little set-aside area in one of the duct areas where he has a chandelier and fine wine and cigars. He's a very cultured Yosaki.
Hello. My name is Skritic. How are you? You learned a lot of things. Listen in on the ducks.
Lord Skrittington.
Quack.
Amu and Vengi, you guys know that the Free Captains are supposedly an association of independent starship captains who, make their credits through freebooting and piracy and raiding and smuggling. They like to have an image of being ne'er-do-wells, but not, wanton murderers. So that's what you guys know. Quentin and Bob, you have heard of them and that there might be pirates. They are space pirates, basically. Heck, Cubino, you're in the same boat as Quentin and Bob. And then Skritic, you know a lot more about them. You know that they are a mafia family because they have like a whole protection racket, and there's like circles of pirates that report into an interior circle, like the Pirates Council, and then there's all sorts of fees and internal politics. And they have an ongoing enmity with the stewards, and they have a sort of ultra libertarian / anarchist political philosophy that some of them really represent. No group is a monolith, so it's hard to say that the free captains are one thing, but they definitely do, smuggle and steal and salvage and run about the galaxy, but they also typically have some sort of code of honor.
Good to know. So is there actually familial ties in the organization, or?
Within an individual crew, that's pretty common, not across the whole free captains in general. They tend to take, kind of strays from anywhere.
Fair.
Such, they're a pretty diverse group, which is good. But it can be something of a free-for-all.
Sounds good.
Typically, though, unless you're the mark, a deal is a deal with them.
Yeah, I think I'll try to convey that information to the crew.
How do you sum that up, Skritic?
All right. Well, see, the thing with these guys, they are something of anarchists, but they do have a code. So as long as they're not trying to take us for a ride in particular, if we make a deal with them, we can mostly count on them to make good on that deal.
That tracks with what I heard. They're not like psycho killers. So hopefully we can work something out.
Yeah, and hey, if we want some help trying to, fight the system, they might be of assistance in that.
All right, so you had contacted Brenson, Sirius, and Duthane and asked them to reach out on your behalf, and they gruffly, but in a friendly fashion, responded that they would. And after a little bit of flying around, which you have to do anyway because the speed on these shuttles is not great, they reach out, the dwarves that is, and say that they can get you in touch. Well, we found someone who wants to talk with you, but she's known to be a bit difficult at times.
What's her story?
Well, her ship's called the Virago, and the name kind of fits. She's an old school pirate, free captain that is. Kind of keeps to herself, loner type. She goes way back with all the old school drifters, at least I think. Like I said, we didn't really follow the show until we met y'all.
Well, I'm willing to talk to her.
What is her name?
Well, the ship's name is Virago. Her name's Amsala.
How do we meet her?
Well, we can put out a little signal beacon, and you can set whatever coordinates you want, and then she'll probably spy on you and then meet you.
Does the name ring any bells?
Amsala? No, not offhand. There's no one famous named Amsala that you're aware of.
All right. Let's do that then.
All right. So you guys go somewhere and set out the beacon, and unlike with the androids who are super cautious, this person shows up immediately with seemingly no care in the world that about tracking her or her ship. And she quickly hails you. Her ship is much larger than your shuttle, but it looks to be a sleek, like racing machine that is bright red and retrofitted with lots of bizarre thruster and engine modifications. You can tell, Bob.
Oh yeah, nice. That's a pretty fast ship.
Hi, all. You want to dock?
Sure. And I'll
all right, come aboard.
I'll line the ships up and dock in and make sure everything's connected, and we can exit.
All right. Yep. So the airlock seals, and right as the airlock seals, the door opens on the other side, like someone was operating it on manual by instinct and didn't wait the mandatory 2 seconds afterwards because they've got that system overrided. And you see the person that is presumably Amsala. She is a middle-aged human woman with deep brown skin, brown eyes, and a grin that makes you wonder whether you guys are in on the joke or not. She's wearing a mechanic's flight suit that is blue, purple, and bright pink, and she seems to have a number of custom tools clipped on the belt or hanging from carabiners attached to the cargo-style pants. All right, yeah, I'm on Sala. Come on aboard.
Head in.
We go on.
Right, yeah. I already know all of your names because I watched the show. So, hi.
Oh, hey.
Always nice to meet a fan.
Well, let's not go that far. Anyway, sit wherever you want. Now, as you board the Virago, it is significantly smaller than the Squeaky Queen, and it's clear that one person is very much used to having this space all to herself. It's not like dirty or disorganized per se, more like it's arranged according to a system that you don't know. Like everything, if it was alphabetized but not according to an alphabet you understood. And all of like the kind of sitting spaces that you might use are filled with projects in varying states of completion, most of them mechanical in nature, although some of them are like bubbling with strange substances you probably can't recognize. So it's a weird tiny little ship.
Space meth lab.
And well, it's more like a space inventors
Meth
capsule.
Mad science.
Yeah. Yeah, more like a mad science / inventor type thing. If they're inventing anything, it's a new, thruster jet fuel, which is itself a strange thing to be inventing because no one cares about thruster fuel anymore. I mean, drift drives are how like the economy works, but this person clearly does care about thrusters, like how to make a perfect bank turn or whatever. Hey. Oh, okay. Wait. I think I can do this. And she gazes at you, and you see there's like some wrinkles on her face. She's clearly older than any of you, but she has a certain exuberance about her. And then she points to Bob. Goes, "You're the brains. Quentin, you're the looks. Hecubino, you're the brains, but also the soul. Amu, you're like the heart and the vascular system and the nervous systems apart from the brain. You're like you kind of look like a vascular system. No offense.
You don't have a vascular system.
That's funny. Thanky, you're the muscle, but you're also the heart because the heart's also a muscle. And Skritic, you're the wild card."
I would have went stomach, but that works too.
No cutting the brakes, Brian.
Wild card!
I think
so.
I think you got it all figured out.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Good. I give you a hard time. I am a fan of the show, you could say. I've been racing before there was a show.
Nice.
Always.
What brings you here?
Well, we ran into some serious trouble. Our ship got sabotaged, and we need parts.
Sabotage.
Yes.
Oh, sabotage. That's a scam, right?
I mean, I would imagine so. I can't see how their business model would work since they pretty much were trying to kill us.
Well, I think the idea was they were trying to mess with us sufficiently so that we wouldn't be killed, but it was still a real pain, and I have no intention of paying them. I would rather punch them in the face repeatedly.
Oh, yeah. They've made a lifelong enemy in me.
Yeah.
So good. I'm glad you guys don't fall for that sort of chicanery.
But our ship got pretty wrecked, so we need a bunch of parts.
And why should I help you again?
Well, you can tell us that. As you know, we're an up and coming drifters team that is just on this side of the legality line most of the time. So
how committed are you to winning?
we're very committed to winning.
Would you do whatever it takes?
I suppose there's probably things individually that we wouldn't do, but we're pretty ferocious.
All right, good. I like that answer. If you'd said yes, I would have doubted your moral compass significantly.
Oh, yeah. No, we're working. I think we all kind of understand some sort of code. We just haven't really verbalized it because we haven't been working together for that long.
Word of advice, I would go ahead and figure out amongst yourselves some other time what that code is, because you can all think you're shooting for the same thing, and then you
Sure.
can find out that that is not the case. So, yeah, let me tell you a little bit about myself. So, first of all, I know who Rain is, and I know what she's up to. Kinda. I mean, I know enough. I don't need you
How do
to.
you know that?
Oh, me and Rain, we go way back. We used to race together, you know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So she's legit. She's not just too deep
mean-
in the stuff.
Well, I mean, like I said, Rain and I and the old Renegades crew, we used to race back in the day. We're all renegades, not no capital R, I suppose.
So what got you out of it?
Oh, it was just a different world. It's nothing like it was. It's been decades. The infosphere was way less usable in space back then. More of a planetary thing, really. And yeah, a lot of us, we all did it for fun. We did it for the adrenaline, and because we could, and because nobody cared what we did. We were young and stupid and brave, and I was in love.
Sounds fun.
Oh yeah, it was a great time. We thought we were going to be free our whole lives and to hell with the consequences, and that's how we lived for a while.
So what happened?
I mean, things changed. We started posting some videos, and the reactions were amazing. We thought we were going to get some credits, buy a nice ship, ride that as long as it lasted, and go explore the galaxy. That's what Rain and I were going to do. At first the fans were incredible. Rain got this rush from seeing their comments, like the videos, the fan art, the slash fic. She read it all. At some point, it's hard to pinpoint when it wasn't fun anymore. It just kind of became her obsession. Yeah. And Rain always needs her rush, whether it's racing or the crowds or venom sticks or even the quest for redemption. I'm sure she thinks she's doing the right thing now. I don't know. Maybe she is. I don't know. She's got drive. She always has had drive. I can't have her as part of my life anymore, though.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
sad.
I get that. People, no pun intended, drift apart. Just something that happens.
When passion meets inspiration, sometimes obsession is the result.
Yeah. Actually, that's pretty on the spot. Normally, I don't go for aphorisms, but I like that one. So, I guess I can help you a bit. I don't have much in the way of credits, and I don't have parts to fix your ship, but I might be able to introduce you to somebody who does. But I don't really want to be Rain's pawn anymore. It's been years. And look, she doesn't even know I'm here and doesn't even know I'm doing this, and that's fine. But
I was going to say, as far as I'm concerned, we never met.
oh yeah, but I'm worried about you.
About us getting hurt?
I'll do whatever you want me to do. If you want, well, in terms of introducing you to people, that's really all I can do to help. But I want you to know you're kind of going in with somebody who isn't always reliable. and she can get other people hurt.
Yeah,
And that
we
isn't
gathered all that when we saw the venom sticks and what happened to the last crew she recruited.
well, do you have a plan? I don't need to know what it is. I just want to know that you have one.
I mean, we're approaching everything with I would say, healthy amount of skepticism. We don't know that how reliable Rain's account of things is, but we've already found out some stuff that is, in fact, what she was looking into. So she's not chasing shadows, or rather, the shadows she's chasing are from something pretty big. So, in a very immediate sense, I know that this team is reliable, even if Rain isn't at any given point.
All right. Well, I can take you to a bar, Free Captain's Bar. It's called Castaway, and it's meant for people to lose themselves. If you don't cover yourselves up a bit, maybe adopt a bit of a disguise, you guys are going to stick out like sore thumbs. But that might not be the worst thing in the world, even if you did. So it's up to you. But I know the barkeep there, and if you say the word warp to her, she might talk.
So, would you recommend that we don't go in looking all like a bunch of flashy drifters?
Well, you're just going to draw a bunch of attention. Now, fortunately, this is the middle of nowhere. But you're just going to have a bunch of eyes looking at you. Now, if that's your play, then that's your play, and that's fine. Some people are good at that. I don't know. You're not quite the Team Electrum type in my mind, so maybe a little bit more of a subtle everyman approach would work better.
I said I kind of stand out everywhere I go.
That's all right.
I mean, there are plenty of Vesk around here.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
you stand out because you're huge, but yeah, we can try a subtle approach, if for no other reason that we've never tried that before.
Yeah, branching out.
We'll learn
Plus,
something
it'll
new.
be good. It'll be good practice for when we have to lie our way into some sort of office building or something.
Yeah, I have no idea when we will have to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll drop you off. Anyway, it's good seeing you all. You have energy like we did back in the day. I always wondered if after it went all corporate, the new racers felt the same as we did, but it looks like you guys do.
Yeah, I mean, don't get us wrong. We know that drifters is part of an insatiable machine that chews you up and spit you out. So we're trying to, get rich and famous before that happens.
Yep.
Or at least rich.
Good luck, kids.
Thanks.
All right. You're gonna want to, take some sit precaution things, whatever. She straps herself into like a pilot seat with like one of those, almost roller coaster style. This is intended for high G forces straps.
Oh, is she? What are we gonna do
About
with
to
the
punch
shuttle?
it?
She's about to punch it. She's like, "Oh, we'll be fine."
Okay.
Vangie looks really excited about this and grab something.
Yeah, I'll find something to sit on and or strap myself to.
I'll be here when we get back, or I'll hunt it down. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
And boom. Yeah, you guys have to adopt some, improvised set of straps and like move some of her half-finished projects out of the way to get a good seat. And she drives like a maniac, or pilots rather. And she like blares like subspace signals, being like, "Get out of the way! Where'd you learn to pilot, Galarian?" These guys pick a space lane, right? And she's just going like, you're not sure if there is any sort of limit on the speed here or what the lanes exactly are. And she seems to play it pretty fast and loose.
Bob appreciates her piloting skills.
She's the little old lady from the diaspora.
All right, here we are, Castaway.
That was awesome.
Anytime. I don't doubt that your Bob here could punch it if he chose to. He just needs to get out there.
Oh yeah,
we haven't had a
Looking
good
forward
space
to it.
race yet. First one was on ground.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. All right. Good luck with the barkeep. Like I said, warp, but also she's particular. So good luck.
Nice meeting you. Thanks for the assist.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, do me a favor.
Mhm.
Just don't tell Rain about me at all. I hope she's well, but I hope she's well.
Hecubino will do like a sign, like he's welding his lips shut and then throwing away the torch.
Nice. Hey, good luck, kids.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thanks.
All right. So everybody, flip your patches over.
Oh yeah, let me take my Sashimoto off.
Yep. Has Vangie just had her Sashimono on this whole time?
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's attached to my
definitely.
armor.
Well, you can detach it.
Yeah, you can do a lot of things.
But why
Well,
would you?
then yes, definitely let's take that off.
Bob does his best to look like a poor street urchin.
Okay. I think the cover here is that we are salvagers, and we are we're just getting started because they're going to see that we're young, and we're looking for parts to refurbish a ship that we found empty and stranded.
Sounds good. I mean,
All right.
it sounds good. I just need a few parts.
Oh no, I love that instinct, Bob.
Oh, thank you.
I will take some base dirt and kind of grind myself up a bit.
Yeah,
and
space dirt is often composed of a lot of oil.
That's good. Looking oily is probably fine.
Oil paint and
So yeah, I'll do that, and also turn into a completely different looking person.
Oh, using some sort of spell?
I'll disguise self.
Fancy.
Nice. All right. Why doesn't everyone give me a disguise check?
Because I'm extremely bad at it.
Well,
Yeah,
I
me
just want to see how you guys do.
Vangie
just
tries
do a
to
stealth check.
slouch.
Yeah, can we do a stealth check instead? Just going to be stealthy?
Hey, it can't be worse than mine. It can't be worse than mine, Rob.
Oh man, not even the worst by a
Oh yeah, I mean,
lot.
actually,
That makes sense.
It can be much worse.
We're bad at this. Are you sure we can't stealth it?
All right. So Bob does a pretty credible job. Vangie is okay. Skritic barely passes muster as not. He looks like Skritic, who's like, what have you done, Skritic, to change your appearance?
I think mainly just throw a cloak over my hideous beast armor and
Yeah, Skritic wearing a cloak is what Skritic looks like.
plans on disappearing into the crowd the first opportunity he gets and keeping his ear to the ground.
But Hamu and Quentin stand out really badly. Now, the good news is, Hecubino, that you can look like whatever you want, and you might be able to cover for them if you attract more attention than they do.
Yeah,
At
and
least
that
initially.
Yeah, and that was always the plan. Hecubino looks like a super cool space greaser. Like, he's usually bald, but now somehow he has hair, which is all like black and slick back. And like his facial features have changed. He still has relatively dark skin, but he's like, he's wearing the same armor, but he makes it look very different. Probably has thrown like a cool jacket over it or something.
All right. Nice. Hey.
Hey.
So you guys enter Castaway. And for a pirate bar, this one is kind of kitschy. Like the walls are covered floor to ceiling in parts of ships and shelves of ship-related knickknacks. All except for one wall, which is covered in pictures of pilots and crews, often standing by their ships, and most of those are. The tables and benches around the place are simple and look exceedingly well used. They're made of metal that was probably salvaged from some sort of Space Hulk ship at some point. There's a decently sized bar with all manner of intoxicants and a giant, about a meter in diameter tube with these glowing creatures floating throughout them. They're, again, maybe a meter long themselves, and they're like going from from the bar to the ceiling. They have wings and 4 little arms and little snake heads with 3 eyes. They're weird creatures, and there must be half a dozen in them kind of swimming about in some sort of ectoplasm. Anyway, around the bar, there are a few regulars that are sipping their drinks in solitude and staring into mugs filled with alcohol and regret. It occurs to you that this look is not completely dissimilar to Rain's restaurant chain Renegades, except this appears to be the genuine article as opposed to the corporate knockoff.
Bob did an okay job disguising himself, right?
Yes, he did.
Okay. So as we go in, I'll tell everyone else to hang back a bit, and I'll what sort of door are we looking at here?
Oh, one of those. It was originally an airlock door, but has now been repurposed to be on like an automated sensor, and so it just open. Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll be like, everybody hang back, and basically turn my back to the door, and then scooch up, and then scooch up a little bit more, so that when the door opens, I'll be facing away from it, and I'll be combing my hair, and I'll turn around and be like, "Hey, what's a guy got to do to get a drink around this place, huh?" And I'll throw my arm around Bob and push him in along with me.
Yeah, drinks for us.
All right, you guys are able to enter, and you draw the standard set of looks when you come in, but pretty much everyone goes back to looking at their past failures and not looking at you. The barkeep looks up briefly. She is a hilky woman, unremarkable, in terms of just you'd call her average height, average build, average hilky hair color. It's very hard to pin her down. But she's clearly from Akaton. She looks kind of vaguely familiar in a way, despite nothing about her being, standing out. She is drying off a mug with an old rag when you enter.
Are Helkies the red humans?
That's right. Helkies are humans. They just happen to have iron-tinged red skin.
She doesn't have a red belt on her or anything?
She does not. But she does glare daggers at Hecubino when he enters, but then immediately goes back to drying off the mug. That's probably just how she looks.
Okay. I'll head right for the bar. I'll sit down at a bar stool and set Bob down at the bar stool next to mine. Hey, barkeep, what's good?
Well, we got plenty of things that'll make you intoxicated. What kind of intoxication do you want?
I would like something.
11.
Deal. Do you have a strong stomach?
Yes.
All right, then. Deep pockets?
Not so much.
Even better. She starts going for some of the back shelf stuff. It looks a set of ominous colors.
This one's green.
You'd like to think that it's green, but you think that's just your mind projecting your concept of green onto a color that you've never seen before.
Could be green, could be orange. It just happens.
Could be out of space. I'll be like, maybe a shot of something a little bit milder for me. I don't want to bounce out of here at warp speed, if you get what I'm saying.
What did the rest of you do?
Basically, just kind of hulking over to the bar, but looking vaguely, I don't know, somewhere between menacing and awkward.
Great.
Mark was saying,
Were we given any instructions?
Were you? I didn't hear any.
The instructions I gave you was hang back.
Was that before we entered the bar?
Yes.
The Namu has not entered the bar.
just sitting awkwardly at like the door to the bar.
Off to the side.
There's a
large enough
bouncer
that
near the
blocking
thing that
people.
says, "Hey, get in here or get out of the way.
Oh, okay.
Make up your mind."
Amu will get out of the way.
Hey! Just get in here, right? Sorry, that's little Sheldon. He's with me.
Amu goes inside.
Quentin,
Float casual.
float casual. What does your face look like?
I'm thinking I'm going casual. I'm trying to disguise myself so there's no face. I'm just
You got a big old ZZ.
Yeah, he's being a drone.
Did you hang a big ZZ top beard on your face? That's a good disguise.
And a rotating guitar? No.
Yeah.
No, that would be too obvious. I might have a hat. No, I don't have a hat. I'm just trying to be in unnoticed as a glowing silver sphere.
Yep, you're just a drone, Troy.
Please move along.
All right,
we are a hedge.
Skritic.
I'll probably try to saddle in, find an occupied seat at a table, at an unoccupied table or booth, and preferably in the corner, and try to make my way unnoticed and sit there and keep an eye on everything and just be ready to jump in if I see any issues.
All right, so back to Hecubino and Bob at the bar. You had said, moving at warp speed, and barkeep pauses, glances at you. Again, her eyes are like a reddish brown, a hue that's uniquely hilky. Do I know you? More importantly, do you know me?
I think you're a friend of a friend.
I don't have many friends.
Well, we just met up with Captain out here. Goes by the name of Amsala. She said we should look you up.
You do look familiar, though.
Do I?
Yeah.
Do you think it's that I have one of those faces?
I don't know. I mean, we're from Akiton, so maybe...
Where are you from on Akiton?
The Orphanarium?
Orphanarium.
Yeah. The Abadar Corp one?
You guys can make your choice of perception or sense motive checks. Anyone who wants to.
23 perception.
Sounds like a wisdom check to me.
I am just rolling junk tonight.
You are.
Woo.
All right. So it looks like Quentin and Vangi don't notice anything. And then Amu, that's a perception, right, Amu?
Yes.
Okay. So Amu, Skritic, and Bob all note there's something about the way this person moves. They're simultaneously too still sometimes and then like very fluid with their motions the next. It comes to Amu first, just due to the biology of it, but it makes all three of you uneasy. Amu, you realize you don't think this person's human. And Hecubino, there's like a familiarity to like her tone, what she's saying, and the kind of matter-of-fact way she's saying it. You've heard this voice come from this face before.
Amu will be stretching out of their shell to get a better look.
Character!
Well, I'll tell you what. Other people rolled above 25 on their sense motive. So if you want a hint, I'll let Sam give you the hint.
I mean, sure, because I'm not.
I think she's the shape-shifting witch warper who killed everyone on the ship.
I mean, that I also thought that, but I was like, surely there's something else. In that case, if that is a suspicion that I have.
It is a suspicion that you have.
Okay, I will not let that show.
Give me a bluff check.
Okay.
Ooh, you're pretty good at that.
Solid.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Fortunately for you all, that is, she seems to be focused on Hecubino, who keeps a pretty cool exterior.
Hey.
Well, what can I do for you?
See, we're a salvage crew, but we're just getting started. So we just got found a ship out here, and we're trying to refurbish it. We got a list of parts that we need, so we thought maybe you'd be able to get us in contact with somebody.
Sure. leave the list. And I'll make some connections. Come back tomorrow.
I'll slide a piece of paper over that has a printout of all the repair parts that Grace told me that we needed.
Is there paper in
She
this
is
reality?
clearly still. It's like a data pad. You've flicked data across a little automatically joining, totally secure network.
Okay.
She's clearly evaluating you guys, like looking you up and down, and as if she's. Fortunately, Hecubino has so far managed to like keep most of her attention on him and not on the rest of the compatriots, because he's doing an excellent job of kind of the bluff disguise portion of this. And you immediately sense, just from your how good your sense motive was and kind of the vibes she's laying down, that she is actually also excellent at this. You just so happen to be, good enough to see through it, but that you think it's totally plausible that she would see through your friends in a heartbeat if she stopped to give them a good once over.
Right. So I'd be like, I'll slap the table. Has she served me?
Yeah. She served you
So
both.
I'll take my shot, slap the table, and be like, all right, tomorrow it is. Leave a credit stick and be like, hey, let's go see what sort of trouble we can get in on this rock and start hurting everyone out.
Yeah. So you do like the little circle up and we're out of here gesture. And the crew follows you, earning a couple of extra glares from your barkeep. And depending on how subtle other people are, they might wait a bit or just go immediately after. So I assume Bob goes immediately with you because he came in immediately with you. What does everybody else do?
Does there seem to be a back door?
Yeah, sure.
All right, I'll try to slip out the back unnoticed.
All right, you do.
Sweet.
Float casual.
Float casual.
I also told them that Amu was with me, so I'll try to herd them along as well.
Yeah, and I also kind of made myself known to be with them, so I'll go with.
We follow.
Okay. All right, cool. So you guys can meet up. You're on a little pirate rock. This is Shattered Stone is the name of the asteroid. It's a little. So Broken Rock is the name of the main free captain base, but it is also secret. This is more of just a watering hole / fuel depot, parts and supplies, and it's not explicitly free captain, so places can't really come and shut it down. Although you're getting very much that black market bazaar type vibe here, where it's unclear that there really is a law that would shut anything down anyway. But as you leave Castaway, you're out in. You don't need a vacuum suit or anything like that. You're not going out into the expanse of space. It's kind of a big, shady indoor mall because it's all built on an asteroid and has its own internal oxygen and stuff like that. And after just a couple moments, you guys can all sync back up and be. There's always people around. It's relatively crowded. Like there aren't. It's not super populous, you think, but it's also not super big. So you'll need to be guarded with where you talk. Though there don't seem to be as advanced like surveillance systems as there are on, say, Absalom Station.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and keep us on the move unless we can actually like grab like some section where, not a lot of people are looking. But if not, then we'll just kind of move around without staying like in one specific location for very long.
Cool.
I'll also tell Bob, look like you're looking for parts because actually we are.
Okay. And so there's some shops and probably vendor tables around. I'll kind of start digging through some of those, looking for stuff, kind of like, this stuff is junk for stuff that doesn't look very good. Subtle negging of the vendors to see if we can get get them to want us to be their customers, but yeah.
Yeah, they're used to that, but they participate. This is a place of salvage and catch as catch can. You can get some. It's basically you can get some good deals here. Like this isn't a place where you can just buy anything you want at market price. It's more like, what did they manage to get this month or week, and then those things like that are a little bit more rare, you might be able to pick up, for a steal.
Well, if there's anything like that and we can get it for a steal, by all means,
Let's steal
let's
it.
grab a few parts.
Excellent. So, I will say in the background, somebody can be making me a computers or engineering check. I will allow one computers check, one engineering check, and a diplomacy check.
We can do computers.
Dibs on diplomacy.
I mean, if no one else is do engineering, I'll give it a shot.
I shall roll a
Oh,
diplomacy.
by the way, I'm going to
check
show
now.
you guys. Go ahead and roll, and then I'm showing you guys in Roll20 what the little things in the jar at Castaway's bar look like, because they look totally freaky.
Ooh.
Ah,
Were they alive?
Coatl.
All right, so we got a 24 diplomacy, a 20 engineering, and 26 computers. Yeah, you guys can actually score some pretty decent deals here. How much credits do you have? How many credits?
That is a good question.
Infinite.
I need to.
Have 0.5.
Yeah, I ain't got a lot, but more than that.
I still
And some
have.
debt.
Yeah, I still have like a little over 3,000 because I ended up not actually buying anything last time.
On critical hit?
785?
Give me a moment. I have to find the sticky note. My sticky notes disappeared.
And then once you say it to me, also type it with like the word credits in Roll20. That way I can see it.
Oh.
Sam, you have no credits. You have less than one credit.
It's worse than that. I also owe Skritic 33 credits. I literally have debt.
She has negative 32.5.
I have some sick year though. No regrets.
All right. So you can easily find 1,000 credits worth of significantly underpriced components here that could either help with ship repairs or just be useful for other upgrades. Or you could even resell them, at a more reputable market. And technically, you might be transporting stolen goods or something like that.
Salvage.
We can resolve the exact details of it a little later. But there's an easy 1,000 credits worth of stuff that's basically priced at half price, and then probably another 2,000 or 3,000 credits worth of things that are still significantly underpriced, that are based off of, these people want to move that, like their job is going out and salvaging and then selling this stuff and repeating. Like they're not, they can't afford to just stay here and try to get the maximum possible return off this.
I can probably do $1,000, 1,000 credits.
Cool.
I'll chip in what I have.
As will I.
Why don't you guys just let me know how much you want to spend? You can spend up to 3,000 total credits between the whole party. And we're also going to say you can only spend in increments of 100 credits, because I'm not keeping track of something less than that.
Okay, so if Bob
So
spends
3,000.
between Quentin and
Skritic.
spend another 1,000,
1,000.
I'll kick in 1,000, and that'll be your 3,000.
All right, great. So you guys actually do manage to score a bunch of stuff from the supply depot here, and the merchants. When you start throwing credits around, you get a lot fewer looks. Like it's like, all right, fine, they're buying stuff that we're selling. That's okay, and you're able to probably after a purchase go somewhere, check on the merchandise, which is totally normal and expected here, and have a quick conversation amongst yourselves in a little back alley that you guys can easily monitor, and you can double check to the best of your knowledge isn't being electronically monitored.
All right, so couple things. First off, Good work, everyone out here on the bazaar. I think we're getting pretty good at that. Second thing, did that lady seem familiar to anybody else?
I just couldn't
Yes.
place her.
We don't know about familiar, but she wasn't moving correctly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely seemed
Yeah.
off.
Did she seem like when she moved, like maybe she didn't necessarily have bones where bones should be, and like maybe she was some sort of space starfish?
There was definitely
Yeah.
something inhuman about her gait.
Possibly?
Yeah, I think it's not just any astrozoan. That's what they're called, right? I think specifically this is the one that sabotaged the team that we've been investigating.
Oh,
Well,
I think
that's
you're
bad.
right.
She's
I mean-
a killer, like a serious killer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. But also, she wasn't expecting us. She doesn't know that we're looking for her. So,
Mhm.
So should we jump her and get some answers?
I mean, I think we should. But first, let's see if she gets us the parts we need.
Yeah. Do you think we were made? Do you
I
think
don't think so. I
You don't
think
think
she's
this
going
is a
back to
setup?
an ambush?
I don't think that this is a setup.
Would it be worth having Skritic tail her?
I mean,
That could be an option.
I don't see why not. I think that basically that's what I wanted to discuss with you guys is do we want to jump her? And if so, what do we want to get out of jumping her? And then we can start working on the particulars of how we're going to do it.
Well, I mean, I'd like to know why she did what she did.
Right. So we can.
But I guess we should also. Can you like make us? I don't know. Anything we can do to like fortify her brain so that she doesn't wind up, telling us what to do like she did her old crew.
Did she manipulate their brains?
Yeah, she told the I can't remember the name of the moth alien to stay behind.
Oh.
And then she died.
I mean, there's not much I can do to fortify other people's brains. I just know that if she does something to your brain, I might have a way of undoing it, but it has to be one of a handful of specific things. So really, we just have to try and make sure that we blindside her.
Can you give any of the rest of us a new look?
Not as effectively as I can give myself a new look, but
Fair.
I can help you try to get a new look.
Are we able to
Want me
take
to
her
tell her
into
it might
to
not
custody?
hurt?
I mean, we didn't even bring our shuttle, so
Could we neutralize her polymorphic abilities?
probably
We could
not.
probably figure out a way to do that.
No.
Maybe.
Well, there you go. But her ability to shapeshift is relevant, but I would like she can't turn into anything that's like huge, right? I mean that's just an ability to blend in.
Yeah, could you turn into something tiny?
That is a good question that Robert doesn't know the answer to.
Yeah, so they can appear as though a creature of the same size category, which is, say, medium size. However, they do not have to appear humanoid. They can appear humanoid or as any aberration. So the flexibility of their shape is pretty broad, but the conservation of mass still applies.
Yeah, and they don't necessarily gain the abilities of any aberration they can turn into.
Oh, no,
right?
no, they just look like them.
Right.
But they may be able to like tentacle out of any bindings we put them in.
I guess another super relevant thing for you to know, because you would know this, Rob, as Amu knows a great many things. Astrozoans have the ability to fit through an area 1/8 their size. So, like maybe the size of a human shoulder blade, they can fit through.
Yeah, they are quite flexible and can fit through some pretty tight spaces.
Actually, that might help us.
How is that?
Like I'll start looking through some of the parts we got and see if I can find like a cylinder that's about that size.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. How would we make her shrink down to fit in it?
My guess is if we push her hard enough into it, she's gonna have to. So I was worried about, yes, I was in fact worried about binding her, but if she can fit in here,
we could just
then that
seal her
might
up.
actually be that might actually be a good way of keeping her contained.
Amu will pick up the cylinder, and we think
all
this
right.
might work. It's reasonable.
Well, I say that we should have someone on her just in case if you're suspicious of her, she might be suspicious of us, and she might be able to recognize our faces from the feeds and then come at us with, I don't know, minions or something like that. So I kind of
I do think we've got a very small window here. So let's have Skritic tail her. You just try to keep to the shadows, and we'll see if we can. If she gets to like an apartment or something, maybe we can jump her there, or we can try and. I mean, that's really about the best thing because I don't know how we'd be able to lure her somewhere. I mean, we're supposed to be back tomorrow, so we could try and do this tomorrow at the bar. But we don't know what's in that bar. That's her space.
Yep.
I mean, it would be the same thing in her apartment, so maybe we can jump her en route. So yeah, let's do that. Skritic, stay on her. Report back to us what she does or what you find.
What kind of range do we have with our comms?
Oh, I mean, you could easily communicate over the course of this whole asteroid, no problem.
Okay. That's good.
Let's see. Quentin, you back up Skritic, but you stay even farther away because you're kind of reflective. But I know that you're pretty good at masquerading as just regular technology. So you two work that out. I'm going to contact Amsala and see where she's at. And if we can move this stuff into her ship, and I'm also going to try and see if I can get a read on her.
Yeah, like was she setting us up or?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. But I come with you and back you up in case she was setting us up.
Yeah, and also to carry all this stuff.
Yeah.
If I didn't give you any specific instructions, just come back with us for now. But let's try and stay mobile. And Skritic, if you feel that you're getting too far away from a place where we could run and back you up, just bail.
Okay.
Guess I'll head back to the bar. See if she's still there. Maybe try to sneak back in from the back entrance and maybe make like I was coming back from the restroom or something.
Yep. The back entrance was the restroom. Restroom window.
That works out then.
All right. You were in there a while. Someone complained.
Sorry. Need more fiber.
So Skritic is going to the bar. Bob, what are you doing?
I'm taking some of the parts back to wherever we need to take them, going with Hecubino.
Okay. Vanky, you're with Hecubino as well?
Yep.
Okay. Quentin.
Quentin is attempting to find access points where he can see inside the bar without being physically seen inside. Maybe like an upper level window or some sort of porthole or like a skylight.
So the closest thing you can get to from above, because it's all kind of built into an asteroid, so it's a little tricky. But you think you see the spot where that tube filled with those three-eyed winged snakes is. So you could probably get yourself into that. That seems to go all the way to like the basically the roof of this establishment.
So I shall enter the three-eyed lizard tube.
I mean, if you wish, you could definitely emerge into that at the top. You'd be probably surrounded by the three-eyed flying snake things, but you might be able to, people probably aren't paying attention to something way at the top of the. It's like, seeing how often do you notice that there's like a camera at the top of the ceiling? Not very often.
Float casual.
And you could bring us one of those.
How many pets do you need?
Yes.
This Rob character.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can capture one of the smallest ones.
Woo! All right. So while you're in there, you Wait. Before I finish with you, we got Hecubino, we got Vangie, we got Bob. Ahmed, what are you doing?
Whatever Hecubino tells us to do.
All right, you're with the Hecubino crew.
We are severely out of our element.
So let's start with the Hecubino crew. Hecubino, you're leading them.
Yep.
What do you do?
I'll try and contact Amsala.
Oh, hey. So I picked up your shuttle and I dropped it off at the dock. I figured this was going to be more hassle than it was worth if you needed me to pick you up later.
Oh, yeah, great, thanks. We made contact with the barkeep.
Yeah?
Yeah, she seems nice.
She's not nice. I never said she was nice.
I mean, she's rough around the edges.
Oh, come on. You know she's, she's a tough person. She's been through a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know her.
Seems flexible.
Hey, look, this is a place for second chances. So, I wasn't sicking you on her and I'm not sicking her on you. But you each have to determine how you want to interact with each other.
And so she's looking for a second chance and not to keep up with her job.
No one comes to the diaspora to keep doing what they were doing.
Not on purpose, I guess.
No one lives in the diaspora for that.
Well, we appreciate the help. If you ever find yourself out in the, whole planets, you can give us a ring.
I'll keep a note of that. But you guys take care. I really do wish you the best, but you've chosen a dangerous line of work. Good luck.
You too.
She actually blows you guys a kiss. There's no sense of romance to it whatsoever, just more like carefreeness.
Right. That's cute. Well, I feel like everything was there. Like, she knew who she was sending us to.
Yep. And that she's out of the game of hopefully murdering drifter crews. Maybe we could sit her down and have a serious talk about what she knows.
Yeah, I'd still like to have as much info as possible. So,
oh yeah.
I'll loop Quentin and Skritic in on this and be like, let's try and get her at close of business at the bar, and we'll try to start by just having a conversation and see where that goes. But you guys keep an eye on her for now.
Acknowledged.
So, going to Skritic, why don't you give me a stealth check?
Alrighty.
And actually, you know what, Quentin? Why don't you give me a stealth check too? But Quentin, we're going to say that you get a +4 bonus because you have some pretty hard-earned cover.
Not a great roll.
Oh, Quentin out stealthing Skritic. Oh boy.
Sneaky.
Yeah. That happens when you roll a 3.
Yeah,
It's got a
that happens
good modifier.
when you roll a 17 too.
The good news for Quentin is no one notices you. The bad news is that sentence ends with the phrase, except for the rifty proteans in the tank that you're in. Those 4-armed flying serpent things, yeah. So they seem to be constantly releasing basically fluctuating energy attacks, and they can't help it. They just constantly do it. So do you have any elemental energy resistances like acid, electricity, cold, fire, anything like that?
Oh, I'm sure I have all of those.
I don't think you do you?
Where do I find those? Those are my.
You don't.
I bet I do.
So it would probably be under your armor notes in your character sheet.
Armor notes. Yeah. Immune to all forms of damage. It says here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Heavily
Nope.
armored sphere of doom. Doesn't look like I do. No.
Immune to all forms of damage except from snakes, where he takes triple damage.
The good news is that they are not so much targeting you as incidentally clipping you every so often. So they're not like trying to kill you, though they do have a bit of curiosity, which is not good for you.
Shoot.
So
Go away.
you take a total after watching for a few, several minutes, of 19 damage.
Go away, idiot.
And then I'm going to need a pair of will saves from you as well.
Will save.
Like 2 will saves from Matthew.
2 will saves from Quentin. Yep.
Oh, Quentin has plenty of wills, except for that nat 1.
Oh no.
Followed by
Oh
a
no.
2.
That one too. All right. So you do lose track of the conversation for a while as you become obsessed with these things shifting forms. You realize that they only look like snakes on the outside. They're not really snakes. They're not really anything. They're energy beings that exist on multiple planes at the same time. And that this substance is just keeping them in some sort of transplanar conduit that you can see. And you have lost like a minute. When you have that revelation, you realize the past 60 seconds, you have no idea what has happened. And then it happens again when you're like, whoa, look at the colors. They're all fractals. There's a beautiful, chaotic pattern to everything that no one could possibly understand. It's like, how long have I been in this floating?
We're all one, man. We're all one. Oh, am I high? I'm high.
Well, you're being confused. You're being confused by beings of pure chaos.
Yeah, I'm hopped up on the goofball is what it is. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be careful of those beings composed of abstract energy.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the plan, Quentin.
What?
Ready, break.
Yep.
What?
All right. So, however, you are able to keep your eye on her most of the time, and she does not seem to notice you, so that's good. And then Skritic, you have a far more mundane experience monitoring your Hilky barkeep, and you see that she goes about a relatively mechanical, straightforward existence. She has regulars who she does talk to, though she's more of a listener than a talker, which makes her pretty decent barkeep. This seems to be a place of regulars. There are no tourists here. You're the closest thing to a tourist. So it seems to be, a place where long-standing reputations go by. Like, everybody knows their name here and knows, what the last convoy they raided and, their whole rep and status and all of that sort of thing. She seems relatively aloof from all of that, and yet has carved out a little niche to herself. So without too much further ado, you guys could easily confront her when the bar is closing and people are exiting after last call.
Yep, we'll do that. Once we get to the shuttle and put our stuff down.
Yeah, let him know last call and down the last of my drink, shovel one last handful of pretzels into my mouth and pour the rest of the bowl into a satchel. Make my way into the door, sticking around in the alleys.
All right. And then with that, as last call is called, she's her own. Well, there's a bouncer outside, but he lets you in begrudgingly. He's like, "Hey, it's last call."
Oh yeah, we're just gonna pick up our friend.
All right, see that you do. And he kind of nods to the barkeep and is like, "You're all right in here?" She's like, she glances over all of you and says, "I'm fine. Go on home now. I'll take care of this." "All right, you sure?" "Can take care of myself." And he closes up, and she starts assessing everyone in the group, and you get the feeling that she's putting 2 and 2 together.
Yep, I'll assuming that that's what's happening, Hecubino will walk along the bar, assuming that she's kind of set herself up in the center of the bar and sit across from her.
And I'll move to the other end of the bar.
Yeah, I'm assuming that people are everybody else is taking positions, except probably for Amu, who has probably never been in either a shootout or a bar brawl.
Correct.
I'll position myself basically next to Hecubino in a kind of protective fashion.
She seems to be looking around for Skritic and Quentin, or at least others, presumably Skritic and Quentin.
Quentin,
I'll
we're
hold up a
talking.
hand and be like, they're around, but Amsala did us a solid and in a sense vouched for you. So if we can get through this by just talking, I'd rather do that.
Wait, so you're telling me you're not here to kill me?
We did not land on this rock to kill you. We are looking for information, but unbeknownst to us, Amsala set us on your path. So
She's quite meddlesome.
yeah,
We want to
she-
know why you did what you did.
Yeah, I mean that's what we want. We want to know why, and we want to know who hired you or what the circumstances were. Again, we've got places to go and people to see, so I would prefer to just have an honest conversation.
And how do I know you're not just the assassins sent to clean up the mess after all this time?
Because we probably wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah, we would have probably started shooting already, right? Why buy you more time? Why let your bouncer walk 2 blocks and then think, oh, you know what? Maybe I should go back and check on her.
Oh, then maybe you're just hopelessly naive. And in that case, why in the world would I bet on you? Any information I give you is just information that goes out in the world. I just want to be left alone.
Well, here's the thing. We already know where you are. That information is already out there, right? We have it right now, and we can take care to not spread it. But if one of us, like, if you are as formidable as you seem to be, if one of us makes it out of here, that's it for you. You're going to have to pack up and do something else, right? This is where you're at right now. We can either work together or things go badly for you. And I don't even mean my vest here skewers you. That's not even what I mean. I mean, best case scenario, if we don't cooperate with each other, you're having to find a different asteroid with a different face and start your cute little bar somewhere else.
What do you want?
We want to know why that Drifters team was killed. We want to know who put you up to it. And yeah, we want to know why.
Well, let me see. What can I tell you? Not very much, I think. I'm bound, you see.
Magically?
Yes. A contract whose enforcers I fear a great deal more than you. Though why I fear for my life when I don't care much to continue to live is quite beyond me. I suppose it is a primitive lizard brain portion of the mind, unyielding in its survival imperative.
I totally lean over to Bangy and do like a dap,
yeah, she's
like knock fist with her and then slide back over.
It's like name drop.
Yep.
Yes, I betrayed my team, Team Elysium. I don't feel badly for the murders. You know, they were very likely to die a sudden and violent death, according to the many realities I've skimmed before and since. I merely feel lonely, I suppose. Given the choice between me or them, I made the only rational, reasonable decision. Still, I wonder sometimes what would have happened. I know the odds, but the unexpected and unlikely occur all the time. So, I am a fragment, a shell of what I once was. Can't help you. I can't tell you anything. I'm useless and old, and I have chosen this as my retirement. Kill me if you wish, but just be done with it.
That doesn't really benefit us.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, A, what can be done when things seem like there's nothing to be done, and B, what we can do. I don't suppose you're at liberty to describe how you're bound.
It's difficult because if I ever break the bindings, then the consequences come.
Right, and the nature. Can you talk about the nature of the bindings?
Well, information security is certainly at the core of the matter.
I'll activate detect thoughts.
Nice. By the way, you recall from you could have looked this up on even the outdated infosphere certainly has this. Her name is Zem, Zem.
Did have that, but that whole thing you talked about keeping some sort of order that only one person can understand.
Yeah.
Me from 5 weeks ago is already a different person that I can't understand. So 3 rounds in, I can read surface thoughts of any mind in the area.
Okay. So keep her talking for a little bit, and then you'll read surface thoughts.
Yeah.
Is anyone else saying or doing anything?
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk. So, were you? I mean, I don't. I'm trying to. Would asking questions help? Like, can you tell us if you were already planning on betraying them when you joined the team in the first place?
I don't suppose I know whether I can tell you that safely. Perhaps there's another way to think about this. Perhaps you should think about what I would think given her roles being reversed. Not knowing what I know as best as I can, but thinking, what questions would I ask if I were in your shoes? And I suppose I would ask the question, who benefits? Has any one group gained disproportionately? If so, what have they been up to? Perhaps that is merely a payment for services rendered.
Sorry, what's the name of the team again? The one who always is winning? Team Electrum?
Electrum, yep.
So Team Electrum, everyone's favorites?
I could neither confirm nor deny that. Your detect thoughts is up at this point.
Could it be someone higher up than just the team?
I could neither confirm nor deny that. At that, you get an image of a character in your mind, Hecubino. It's her surface thought. It seems to be their name, but it gets scrambled. It's like instead of hearing their name gets it becomes a character you don't understand, and then the character starts moving around. Oh, all right. Well then, I suppose this is where we part ways. I'd like to think that I don't quite deserve what fate becomes for me, but maybe I do. I signed on to it after all.
Does it seem like the thing got triggered?
Well, let me answer that question with a bit of scene description. The cash register at the bar, which is a very old model, like the concept of a cash register, I mean, it's a credit register, really, but
sure.
It doesn't even have an infosphere connection or comm system. So she has to use it by hand, like putting in the freaking credit stick and like typing things in. Well, that goes haywire. Its screen goes blank. Then red glyphs start appearing on it, scrolling down the screen quickly. They seem to be the same kinds of characters that you saw briefly in her mind, Hecubino. The register is shaking, and the bar's glasses start rattling as a result. And you notice that the data pads that you guys yourselves are carrying are shaking and glowing red as well. The same characters are showing up on their screens.
Do we recognize, the language that these characters are from?
Oh, remember when I asked you about what?
Yeah, I mean, I gathered. I just was wondering. I assume that none of us speak freaking Infernal. I was just wondering if we could recognize that that's Infernal text or Abysmal or whatever it is. All right,
fun. I'll jump over the bar and motion for Vangy to do the same, and I'll try to flank her, and with my back to her to see if we can if something's gonna happen, see if we can prevent it from happening.
Mm-hmm. She'll get into battle position.
Cool. So you guys can feel your data pads overheating. The register ignites, seemingly spontaneously combusting, surrounded in a malevolent deep red flame. And the strings of glyphs that had been floating down the screen emerge from it, connecting to each other with that same strange fire and start lashing out as though they were whips or possibly chains. Yes, I suppose that counted as breach of contract.
Ooh.
Don't trust the ones who smile and offer you everything. And with that, the chains start lashing out. They grab hold of her and seem to be trying to pull her into the data pad screen. And several of your data pads start launching themselves like floating freely with no obvious force being exerted upon them in order to themselves launch more of those glyph flame chains out. So you guys were flanking her, but the enemy is kind of all around you.
She'll look at Hecubino, kind of try to toss her data pad and try to just smash it with her pike.
Can I try and ascertain what's happening?
Sure, why don't you make a mysticism check? What is everybody else doing?
Bob doesn't know what to do. Part of him wants to run, and part of him wants to start shooting at all the data pads.
Trying to grab our data pad. That's ours.
Amu is having a data pad. Vangi is smashing a data pad. Hecubino is trying to figure out what's going on. Skritic, what are you doing?
Probably smashing my own data pad. Basically, bringing a knife down with both hands over my head and just trying to hack it apart.
Cool. And Quentin.
Quentin is in an unusual situation because Quentin actually may be a data pad.
Oh no.
So Quentin is probably going to bust out of the Lizard tank, whatever the thing is, like a little silver Kool-Aid man, and hope that he doesn't himself burst into flame. Does it look like any such things are happening?
You are struggling to maintain control over your facial expression pad. Like half your screen you have complete control over, and the other half starts adopting very strange you wouldn't call them emojis or even facial expressions, but you look at it. Yeah, they're characters or vaguely non-humanoid expressions. They're abstract art as made by a demon on a digital medium.
If you'll excuse me.
But yeah.
I believe I need to leave before your mother darn socks in hell.
And Bob, what are you doing?
I guess I'm going to start. I'm going to start opening fire on whatever data pads are close by. Get them away. Maybe even fire at the cash register that's on fire and looking at the flames.
All right. So you start firing. People start smashing their data pads. Amu's grabbing onto his and floating from the ceiling. And you shoot at the cash register, and it just absorbs the what kind of damage does it deal? Your gun?
Fire and electric.
Yeah, it just absorbs it, seemingly harmlessly. And Hecubino, you can identify this as a powerful compact, a magical compact that has been broken. Unequivalent with a Gesh or something like that, or Mark of Justice. Some we're talking 5th or 6th level spell equivalent level power here.
Sure.
Which in this game, that's about as high as they go. Or an equivalently powerful magical being that sealed this in a no jokes, we're not kidding around. If you accidentally reveal it, it still triggers kind of way. You would expect this person, even if you were able to fight off these chains, they will be they are cursed badly.
Yeah.
And at that, by the way, with Amu grabbing onto his chains, one of the chains reaches out and scores him pretty badly, burning several of your polyps, Amu, and leaving an impression of several of the glyphs that formed those particular links to the chain on your body. That does not seem to it feels excruciatingly painful.
Oh, we let go of the data pad and drop back down to the floor.
I don't think there's anything we can do here. We got to get out of here.
Let's do it.
She nods and she gestures at you, and you momentarily feel gravity lighten momentarily, and like you all become much faster. And then at the same time, she opens up a tiny black hole behind her, and it just starts to suck everything else in. So you guys are getting like basically blasted out while she's kind of imploding the bar behind her.
Ah!
Wow.
Oh yeah, definitely getting the heck out of there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Quentin already made a run for it because that's creepy.
Yeah, and Castaway implodes with the asteroid fortunately crushing all the nearby area to prevent a massive leak into the vacuum of space. And you guys are left gasping 10 meters outside the blast radius, with Quentin just coming to control over his screen functions, and several of your data pads destroyed or still fritzing out and being blasted by Bob on the ground, as you manage to catch your breath. And from there, you're going to have to decide what you do next.
Ooh, well, I think that's a good place to end this week. Thank you so much, everybody, for downloading and checking us out. Oh, what's going to happen next? The mystery deepens. How high up does it go? Maybe it goes all the way up to the top. You're going to have to open up your Starfinder core rule books to find out who that might be. But in the meantime, you can check out our Discord and join in on all the conversations where people are talking about Critical Hit. And until next time, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2021 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.